Hey guys, Buff from Gaming back, bringing another video today for our Blueprint Weapon Series. Today we're also going to be covering this weapon, which is the Night Raid Submachine Gun, which is the Steyr AUG carbine variant, or the F88C if you're looking at the Australian weapon. Now the bundle itself is the FROGMAN UDT MIL-SIM pack, so you'll see on screen now, as part of this pack for 1,600 COD points is released with day 1 of Season 2. You get the FROGMAN UDT default operator skin for the coalition forces. You also get the Night Raid Submachine Gun, which is the AUG converted into the F88C, or the Steyr AUG carbine variant with a 407mm barrel. We also have a watch, charm from the depth calling card, which is actually looks pretty cool. We also get the anchor weight emblem. So all that available in store for 1,600 COD points. Now if we go ahead and back out and look at our weapon here for the final version of the AUG itself. So here you see the final version of the Night Raid F88C, or the Steyr AUG carbine. So go ahead and back out. Now these are the attachments that you get with the weapon. Again, this also comes with the MIL-SIM operator himself. So let's go over that first. I want to go to my operators. And here we see for the MIL-SIM for Coalition, we don't have the Allegiance MIL-SIM packs or anyone yet for the default operator. So I actually did a poll on the page yesterday to get some opinions as to what you guys thought. So we'll be doing a video covering that in the future for Allegiance operators, and also other MIL-SIM packs that you guys want to see added. But Coalition, you can see here we have our UDT operator, which is added as part of the default operator. So if I go in and select, we'll take a look. So you see our FROGMAN UDT, very similar to the Ghost skin. If I go over here to the Ghost skin, obviously both UDT bundles, Ghost available as part of the Modern Warfare 2 bundle with a UDT demolition pack. And for the default operator, for the MIL-SIM operator, we get the FROGMAN UDT, you can see here on screen, with the Night Raid blueprint for the AUG. So there you go, pretty cool looking operator. Again, this is a default operator for the coalition forces, and he looks pretty neat. So we'll go ahead and back out now and look at our blueprint. Go back to our blueprint here for our F88C. So the attachments on this blueprint, it comes with a lightweight suppressor. So this is going to just assist with the sound suppression as well as the damage at range. The barrel itself is going to be the 407mm extended barrel. This is the first barrel you unlock. This is going to assist with damage at range, bullet velocity, recoil control, the cons being aim down sight speed. Skip out on the laser for the blueprint. Now for the optic, it's going to be a Merc thermal. So this is going to allow you to have a thermal target identification, as well as the zoom level is a 3.25, the con being ADS speed on this weapon. Going to go ahead and use the default stock on this blueprint, as well as no perk or rear grip. Now for the ammunition, this perk obviously turns it from the 9mm conversion kit to the 5.56 NATO. The other option we would have is the 60 round drum mag of 5.56 NATO there as well. But here we have the standard 5.56 NATO 30 round magazine. And then if we look at the underbarrel attachment, it's going to give us the Commando foregrip, which is the recoil stabilization and aiming stability, the con being movement speed on this weapon. And then also with those 5.56 ammos, we obviously, from the base 9mm that comes on the weapon, this blueprint gives you that 5.56 30 round mag. So you're going to get the damage increase as well as a range increase because you have that heavier 5.56 NATO round. The cons being the recoil control on the weapon. So back out and we'll take a look at it now. How does it compare to the base AUG? I made the same attachments here on screen with the base AUG. Let's see if it'll load for us. So here we see our Night Raid bundle, or our Night Raid blueprint for the AUG. And then if I swap down, you can see the exact same attachments, just the differences. So here's our base AUG with the same attachments, and here's the blueprint. So once more, base AUG, and then the blueprint. So you can see some subtle differences, mainly with the suppressor and the barrel, and as well as cosmetic skin changes to the weapon as far as just camo color. So if we jump back into it here, we have a lightweight suppressor on the weapon, which is the suppressor as well as the barrel itself is wrapped in what looks like black electrical tape to keep it dark and get rid of that standard gray or silver tint on the barrel as well as the suppressor. The lower receiver of the weapon, you can see here, is a black honeycomb type camouflage. We have the standard color magazine for the 5.56 NATO, and then we have the almost like an olive green upper receiver here on the F88C, or the Steyr AUG. So we also have what looks like blue tape on top of the flip sight there for the thermal. We have some blue tape there on the left side, as well as the markings 15 on the left side of the gun here. This is an XRK blueprint for the AUG. We have 15 in reverse on this side too. So both those are on the upper receiver. Then we have the blue tape there on the handguard for the pistol grip there, right in front of the trigger. And that's really the only major changes to this blueprint. You can see it looks really nice, especially if we back out and take a look at it with our operator. In the play menu here, if I just go to the play menu, you can go ahead and check out what it looks like with the UDT FROGMAN operator. So you can see right there, looks pretty cool. And then the operator himself, you can see has the, if I go to my actual operators, take a look at him here. So the operator himself has the old school night vision goggles, as well as just the standard FROGMAN UDT suit that we saw with Ghost, as well as, it'd be cool to see some more skins for your UDT, as well as on the Allegiance side. But you can see he's got his little flippers there on the back. He's got what looks like possibly a plate carrier, radio, pistol holster. He's got his knife on his right ankle. And he's got the old school, as I said, the old school night vision goggles, as well as another knife there on his left shoulder. So pretty cool looking skin, especially with the Night Raid blueprint for the AUG or the F88C. So if we back out and look at the blueprint one more time, how does it change if we just swap out attachments? So if you, first off, if you don't have 5.56 or some of these attachments unlocked for the AUG, definitely for 1600, this is a pretty good bundle because you will get the 5.56 NATO rounds, which are much better, in my opinion, than the standard 9mm. But if we were to swap out the suppressor for a different suppressor, let's try just tactical. You can see that how that looks, mono. And if we were to take it off altogether, you can see just get that standard flash hider or the muzzle brake on the weapon. So we'll go ahead and put that back on. Now if we swap the barrels, we'll deselect for default. You can see how that changes. You get that shorter barrel by default. If we did the 407mm lightweight, you can see how that changes, as well as the 622mm, turning it into the actual Steyr AUG STG-77. So you can see how that looks. So go ahead and select the standard extended barrel for the 407mm. Now the optic is going to be similar. If I put a different stock on here, you can just say it's mainly going to change the butt pad on the weapon there. No major changes to the blueprint itself. The rear grip, same thing. We're just going to get that standard grip tape on the weapon, which already comes default with no grip selected. You have a little bit of grip tape there by default. Now, magazine, if I were to just deselect, we see what it looks like with 9mm, which is pretty ugly in my opinion. I'm not a big fan. Then we see the 60-round drum with the 5.56. So that 5.56 NATO 30-round mag, we'll put that back on. Matches the upper receiver color pretty well. And then the underbarrel attachment, you can see no significant changes to the grip itself for the Commando foregrip. So if I were to swap something else out here, you can see it's not going to cosmetically affect the blueprint whatsoever. So now camouflage-wise, you can see it's going to cover the lower and upper receiver of the weapon, and that's about it. The barrel suppressor, as well as the butt pad, optics, foregrip, as well as the magazine remain untouched for the different camouflages on the weapon. But I think by default, the camo on this weapon looks really nice. And you can see here, we'll just jump in game with this weapon for the Night Raid blueprint and see how it handles in game here. So I'm just running this in a standard game here, custom game against bots. You can see me running this in a daytime map. I was going to run it in a nighttime map, but I wanted to run the build itself as the bundle comes. So I'm not really able to, if I were to run it on a night map on this, first of all, they did unfortunately remove realism mosh pit, which for some reason this time around is the first time it's been back since season 1, I believe. And this time around, realism mosh pit was only night maps. So if I were to use this on night maps, it's not, if I were to stay true to the blueprint, it's not a toggle sight, so I would have to use, you have to use the laser and not the sights itself. So if you had a Merc thermal on there, or excuse me, a thermal hybrid, you'd actually be able to toggle the different sights, and you can utilize both sights without having to flip up your night vision goggles, which is a good one there. So unfortunately, we can't do that to use it with the base blueprint, so I just used it as is on a daytime map. But you can see how it handles really well. Now again, this is the Steyr AUG, or the F88C, which is the Australian variation of the AUG itself. So what I'll do is link down below the video for the F88C as well as the STG-77. You can go ahead and check those out. Now the F88C is the Australian military's adopted version of the Steyr AUG A1, and they've made some different changes to it. Now the C being that it's a carbine because the barrel length is 16 inches. So that 407mm barrel, we have the two options, turning it into that 16-inch barrel, which is the carbine variant of the Steyr AUG or the F88C. Now the AUG itself, I like the conversions to the STG-77 as well as the F88C that we covered earlier in the channel on our conversion series, but the Steyr AUG is developed in Austria, and it was adopted by the Austrian Army in 1978, where at the time replaced the 7.62 by 51mm NATO STG-58, which was a license built of the FAL, the FAL. So different variation that they had adopted of that. The STG-77 replaced that in 1978. It's been in service since 1978 through the present. There's a couple different types, which we covered all the conversions basically on this channel. I'll also link to the light machine gun variant of this, the squad automatic weapon. So the types of builds that this STG-77 or the Steyr AUG is able to create is the bullpup assault rifle, which is the STG-77, the carbine, which we're covering here, the light machine gun, which again I'll link that video down below as well, is the squad automatic weapon, and then we have the submachine gun, which is at base what the AUG is in game with those 9mm conversion rounds on the weapon. So it's designed by Horst Webb, Karl Wagner, and Karl Moser are the designers of the weapon in 1977. The manufacturers being Steyr, of course, and the production was 1978 through present, as I said. Now the different variants as we covered, I'll link down below for all those videos. The mass of the weapon overall for the carbine is 3.3 kilograms or 7.3 pounds. The length of the carbine with this 407mm or the 16-inch barrel is going to be 27.2 inches overall. Also, the barrel length, as we covered, is a 407mm, so there's 16 inches, making this the carbine. And the cartridges that it fires is the 5.56 by 45 9mm parabellum, which you see both of those in game. It also fires the 300 blackout rounds, which we only see on the M13 or the Sig Virtus in game at this moment in time. So there's a couple different weapons in real life that do take that 300 blackout round, so we'll have to see if maybe that'll be added into any other weapon going forward in the game. Rate of fire on this is going to be 680 to 750 rounds per minute. The muzzle velocity for the standard rifle, being the STG-77 with that longer barrel, is going to be 970 meters per second or 3,182 feet. Effective range 300 meters. Maximum fire range for the weapon is going to be 2,700 meters or 8,900 feet. And that's really it overall. Again, this is the F88C or the carbine version of the Steyr AUG STG-77. Go ahead and let me know down below what you think of this weapon as well as the UDT bundle pack. I'm really a fan of the MIL-SIM operators, and as I said in the post yesterday, we'll have to wait and see what kind of allegiance operators we'll get for MIL-SIM on the default, because we don't have any default operators with MIL-SIM skins yet. They have not been added, but we do have confirmation that obviously they are coming, whether it's in the remainder of Season 2. I'm assuming it'll probably be at the halfway mark. They'll release the allegiance MIL-SIM packs here in game, as whether they're free or not, or part of the battle pass for some special event, or maybe just part of in-store bundles. We'll have to wait and see, but let me know down below what you think. Also, let me know what kind of real MIL-SIM operators you want to see added in the future, whether it's for the Allegiance or the Coalition. I put a poll up yesterday on YouTube basically asking you what you guys wanted to see, for who you wanted to see added for the base Coalition, which we already have seen some, as well as for the Allegiance. And different choices for the Allegiance would be something like the KSK, which is German Special Forces, Gruppe Alpha, which is basically Spetsnaz, so we would get more Spetsnaz skin, FSK, and some different real-life military forces or special forces could be added there. And then I also had an option for others. So go ahead and check that out, or leave the comments down below what kind of MIL-SIM packs you want to see coming. And for Coalition, we could still see something like a Navy SEAL, Green Berets, SAS, Polish Groom Forces, Delta Forces, I think would be pretty neat. So I really do like these MIL-SIM packs. But let me know down below what you guys think of this. What do you think of this blueprint overall? I think at base it is a nice looking blueprint. We have the black lower receiver with the olive type color upper receiver there on the weapon. I think it aesthetically looks really nice. However, I still am waiting for those bigger cosmetic changes to the weapons. We have seen a few in the past, but I'm still really waiting for my AK-12 and even the G36C converted into, or the G36 converted into the XM8. I think would be really nice with the blueprint as well as something like a M4 assault mod. I think would be really nice. Hopefully, when you were able to mix and match the different blueprints, that'll be an option to mix some parts, and I could probably make a nicer looking assault mod. I can make it right now, but it just aesthetically isn't as pleasing as I would really want it to be. It'd be really nice if we could change the colors of the different attachments on the weapon. So hopefully that'll be something down the road. I think there's a great opportunity with the gunsmith in this game to really mix and match and create really nice looking weapons that are personalized without getting too crazy with the camo. So just the base color camos, maybe have some camouflages like we see here on these blueprints with the black or the olive green or the UDT greens, which we've seen on some, and be able to mix and match those color schemes to make something really nice. I'd really like to make a assault mod with a bunch of different color schemas added to the weapon. So I'll have to wait and see what we get for that. But go ahead and leave a comment down below. What kind of blueprints do you want to see going forward? I'm going to make a video basically compiling all these. I've been asking you guys this for a while, and we've been talking about it down on the Discord. So I'll link that link down below, as well as the social media accounts. Be sure to comment down below what kind of MIL-SIM operators you want to see added to the game going forward, as well as blueprints for the rest of Season 3 and going into Season 4. Also, stay tuned because the M249 SAW will be released this season at some point, probably at the halfway mark. We'll see this come with the additional operators. So go ahead and comment down below. I'm going to leave you guys with that. And until next time, Buffett Gaming, out.